Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So yesterday in my core video, I asked you all to submit questions, so I picked a bunch of them so we could follow up on all the really big stuff. Lots of Zahir airbending disciple talk, so it's all very interesting. Real quick shout out to Omaster and Ninja DC. You guys are the winners from last night's giveaway. I'll be reaching out to you on your channels for details, but the next round of the giveaway will start whenever I post next week's, double episode video. For anyone who's brand new to my channel, all you have to do to participate in those is be a subscriber and leave a comment. If you guys ever wondered why the giveaways are tied to comments, it's just because those are the things that I value most. Like if you wanted to help me the most, all you have to do is just leave a comment. It's basically how I learn what you guys are thinking. It's basically where the YouTube community lives, and that's the thing I care about the most, so that's why it's all about comments. Speaking of comments, let's answer some questions. So careful for spoilers from last night's episodes if you haven't seen them yet. I'll wait just a second. Okay, ready? Let's go. Question number 1. Lucas asks, will we see a civil war with the Earth Kingdom, like the people against the Queen? So usually in all seasons of Korra, there's like a couple types of conflicts. There's like Korra's main spiritual conflict, and then there's like some sort of, human versus human conflict. So I'm expecting Korra to battle Team Zahir, and that'll be like one of the plots. And then they'll have some sort of, human on human violence. Based on what we've seen so far, I don't think anyone besides the Earth Queen is going to be the villain of that human conflict, like that human on human one. So yes, Earth Queen versus her people. I don't know if it's just going to turn out to be a straight up civil war, but no one will be killing anyone. That's not really what Korra's about, and it wouldn't really fit with the airbending philosophy that all life is sacred. She's been subjugating all of her people, not just the airbenders, but I think it would be a nice resolution if those, Northern Air Temple airbenders from the Earth Kingdom came back and made her see the error of her ways and resolve the conflict that way. The Earth Queen is a lot like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, really over the top and comical, but I think there are a couple ways her plot could resolve itself. So one way would be for Korra and those other airbenders to teach her the error of their ways and she just becomes a better person. The other way would be for her to kind of get pushed aside and most of her power given to like a new parliament or something like that. That's kind of what happened in the UK, although it was voluntary. The monarchy still exists, but over the last 100 years or so, the royal family has slowly given more and more of their decision-making power to the government. And you get to a situation today where the monarchy becomes more figureheads and the parliament does like the day-to-day job of making sure species 4, 5, 6 does not obliterate the human race. Shout out to Torchwood fans. Question number 2, Camille asks, what's so important about Korra that Team Zahir couldn't do what they want to do with Aang whenever he was still alive? So good question. Korra's about 19 right now, so let's assume they got thrown in prison about 19 years ago. They look like they're about the same age as Tenzin, so they'd have to be in their early 30s whenever they were arrested. I can think of 2 big reasons why they'd go for Korra versus Aang, especially at that time. The first big reason being that Aang was kind of on his way out, like he was dying whenever they were just forming their plan. Like Aang was in his final years and either wouldn't have enough strength to do whatever Zahir wanted the Avatar to do, or if they're trying to convince the Avatar to help them, Aang was just too stuck in his ways and would have never agreed to their mystery plan, whatever it is. I really think it's more of a combination of those 2 things. Aang was on his way out and was basically getting ready to die, and they didn't think that he would help them. So whenever they saw Korra coming along, they just thought, hey, we'll raise her, and then whenever it comes time to do whatever it is we want to do, she'll believe us, we'll be her friend, so she'll help us. That's kind of a twist on what Unalaq wanted, except he wanted to kill Rava. I don't think that's what Zahir wants. There's really still too much that we don't know about him or his plan to start making guesses, so I'm just going to call it Zahir's mystery plan until he does his evil guy monologue and explains everything. Question number 3, Wargaming asks, where did Zuko's dragon come from? So in the Dragon Days comic, Aang saves the last dragon egg, so it either came from that egg, it hatched from that, or it came from the dragons in Last Airbender. Remember, we learned that Iroh had protected Rand and Shaw, the last 2 dragons. We actually just learned in this past week in the video game that Nickelodeon posted, the Zuko game, that Zuko's dragon's name is Druk. He was born around 18 years ago, meaning he is the same age as Korra, pretty much. It's funny to think that the birth of Zuko's dragon and the birth of the new Avatar are connected, but I can see why they would want to connect those 2 big major events. I'm sure there are actually a lot of big things that were connected to Korra's birth, including Zahir's mystery plot. I think the big takeaway about Zuko's dragon though is that he's either the child of those 2 dragons from Last Airbender, or he came from an egg that survived Sozin's destruction whenever Sozin set everyone to just start hunting dragons down. I've always thought the dragon eggs take forever to hatch, so it's possible it could be from Sozin's time, just because in all the different fantasy series I've ever seen, dragons are extremely long-lived. And for the most part, there's usually a correlation between the length of a creature's life and the time it takes for it to gestate and be born or hatched. Question number 4, Benjamin asks, do you think that Aang is the one that taught Zahir airbending? Yes, I definitely think that's possible. I saw a lot of you guys speculating that he could have been like an early airbending disciple, and at some point Aang could have taken his bending away with energy bending. So it's possible that Zahir tried to enact some sort of plot when Aang was still alive, then Aang took his powers away, then Zahir tried again whenever Korra was born, was thrown in prison, so technically in book 3, this is his third try to do whatever it is he wants to do. And since he's an airbender again, it's possible that harmonic convergence just restored his bending. It would explain why he's so good, and there wouldn't have been many other people, other than Aang that is, who could have taught him about airbending about 30 or 40 years ago. So I definitely think that he was someone's disciple. The only other person I could think of would be like a random guru that we just haven't met yet or we didn't know about. Question number 5, Andre asks, do you think that Opal is actually Lin's daughter? No, I don't really think it's going to get too complicated with the Beifong story. I think that the whole Lin Su Yin backstory is going to be a simple take on their big differences. Like Beifong trying to be super responsible and strict, and Su Yin being rebellious and getting away with everything. If you remember, Su Yin said that Toph wasn't really super happy with the way either Lin or Su Yin turned out. I'm assuming that Lin, though, is probably just bitter about Su Yin never being held to account for her actions. Full disclosure though, I have not seen like the leaked episode 6, so I know there's a Beifong flashback, I don't know how it goes down. My explanation just kind of makes Lin seem more like an emotional child in that she can't just get over the fact that they see the world differently. I do think we're meant to draw a few similarities between the ridiculousness of the Earth Queen and Lin. Like, they're both really stubborn people stuck in their ways. Obviously, I'm expecting Lin to turn that around. I mean, she is a good person. Question number 6, Kevin asks, do you think that the real antagonists are the White Lotus? Not really. I do think that the real antagonist is actually ignorance. I mean, it's kind of a silly explanation, but I think that's what it is. Like, all the characters just have to get used to change, and that's the real obstacle to overcome. Zahir just seems like a villain right now because his plan takes him in opposition of Team Avatar. And I haven't seen any evidence this season that the White Lotus has done anything shady. Like, they've really only been following Zuko's orders. It sounds silly, but they'll all probably just get to the point this season where, like, some really big change will come and everyone in the world will just have to learn to deal. That kind of already did happen with harmonic convergence, but Zahir could just be trying to bind the physical and the spirit realms in a much more profound way. The spirit Korra almost hid in Republic City in that first episode said that we're all the same. Even the Avatar should know that. That sounded really ominous to me, like somehow this season everyone will become one in a much more obvious way. Question number 7, Siobhan asks, is it just me or is the Dai Li in the White Lotus getting way less badass? It seems like they're just trying to make the new characters like Kai and Team Zahir seem even more badass, so they make the other characters seem weaker. They're more of a threat if they can take down Zuko, the White Lotus, and the Dai Li. And since we haven't really had like a big earth-shaking conflict since the 100-Year War in Aang's time, it's possible that people could have just gotten soft since then. So the Dai Li and the White Lotus could both be more like maintenance level benders, not the kind of superhero epic benders you see emerge during times of war. Hopefully we get some more details in the next couple of episodes about what's going on in the world right now, so then that might kind of explain why Team Zahir is so much of a badass. Question number 8, Danny Phantom asks, do you think that Zahir's void has something to do with the original airbenders? No, not necessarily. I do think it has something to do with energy bending and transcending physical existence though. I know I mentioned conquering death in my last video, but the best way to do that would be to exist as pure energy. That might not be what Zahir's trying to do exactly, but I don't think he's just trying to contact someone. I think it's possible that he could be trying to energy bend everyone, like in a much bigger way. Like whenever you see Korra and Aang go into the astral state, or some twist on that. So Guru Pathik's chakras might be making a comeback. Question number 9, I Love Me asks, why did Nick take all the episodes down off Nick.com? Probably because they're just trying to increase live ratings for Korra on Nickelodeon on television. I don't think it'll work, and I don't think that their strategy of not putting episodes on iTunes quickly is going to work either. Right now, the only way to watch the show legally is to watch it on Nickelodeon, but if you live in a country where Nick isn't available, which is most places, it really hurts their viewership. It's a whole big thing, but my sympathies go out to you if you do not get Nickelodeon wherever you live. I can't allow any streaming links in the comments here just because they're illegal, but that's typically the only way to find new Korra episodes. It sucks, but there's currently no legal streaming options available. Question number 10 and last one. So commenter Scott pointed out some of the really amazing voice talent this season, and since I haven't done a video just about the voice actors, I wanted to read his comment. So here are some of the really awesome Avatar, Legend of Korra, Last Airbender characters that you may have already recognized. There's Jack DeSena as Sokka on Last Airbender. He doesn't have any Korra credits on IMDb right now, but Ava Marie Saint is Old Katara. on Korra, J.K. Simmons, everyone knows as Shirtless Tenzin, Mindy Sterling as Chief Cranky Pants, Lin Beifong, D.B. Sweeney as Old Aang on Korra, Anne Heche is the new Suyin Beifong character, Lisa Edelstein you probably remember from last season as Kaya, she's also on this season, Dante Basco as young Zuko on Last Airbender and Zuko's grandson, Iroh on Korra. Then we have Mark Hamill as Fire Lord Ozai, Grey Delisle as young Azula, and now as the armless waterbender Pai Li on Korra, which is really cool. And then there's Henry Rollins playing the new main character Zahir. Nickelodeon for some reason hasn't done any big casting announcements for Book 3 voice actors, but there's some really nice additions and I'm really happy with the new voice actors, especially Henry Rollins. It's just so awesome. So next week there'll be 2 more episodes again, episodes 6 and 7. I think they're going to resolve the Metal Bending City story and then move on to something new in episode 7. Since those 2 episodes will basically comprise the halfway point of the episodes, I'm hoping we learn a little bit more about what Zahir's plan is. I know everyone really wants to know where Toph is, but I'm not expecting to learn that anytime soon. I have seen some really cool theories on the Red Lotus as a possible alternative antagonist as it relates to the Pai Sho game, in the White Lotus tiles. I don't have lots of information about that, so if something develops, I'll definitely include that in a future video. So right now, click here to get my review of the episodes, and click here to learn about my top 10 Last Airbender characters. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.